had their eyes wide shut, quick to sleep on us. Now they...
Welcome back into Panhandle Live. I'm Hans Fogel. My thanks to Jan Callan, Executive Director of the United Way of the Eastern Panhandle. You're listening right now to a new genre of music that was developed right here in Martinsburg. The two men behind it, Jordan Otley and Blaze Sitchett, or INRG, which actually stands for Inventing a New Revolutionary Genre of Music. And gentlemen, I'd like to thank you both for being in here on Panhandle Live. Welcome into the program.
Thank you. The pleasure's ours.
Thank you very much.
Now, we hear some of your music coming into this segment. It has a lot of familiar sounds and a lot of different elements to me. Tell me a little bit about how this is composed.
Well, it's a mixture. It's from the name of our group, Inventing a New Revolutionary Genre of Music. It's a collaboration of a lot of different genres. There's classical music, there's hip-hop, there's jazz, there's Caribbean, there's reggae.
I thought I heard reggae in there.
It's a mixture of everything.
And African music and,
Yeah.
Type of music.
Now, as we said, this got started right here in Martinsburg. Tell us the story. How did INRG come to be?
Well, Blaze and I met. I was working at a music store, and he just happened to walk into the store that day and was looking for some studio equipment because he had actually already produced an album of his already. And so I was the one that hadn't done any production yet. And he's asking me about some equipment, what was necessary to put studios together, and I had familiarity with it already. So I'm telling him, and he's nodding his head, and I'm saying, well, you're looking for the same stuff that I'm trying to build. And so oddly enough, he told me he had a CD of his that he'd like me to listen to, and I just took a break right from my job, and we went right outside to his car. We listened to some music. We went to my car then, listened to some of my music, and we just hit it off ever since then. And
And the surprising thing is that he went over his break. It took a long break. He was very excited.
Right. Now, how long ago was this?
It's been what?
About 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's taken 3 years to go from there to here. Now we have INRG, which is spelled INRG.
Right.
Has the collaboration been successful?
Big time. Big hit. It's grueling work from the beginning. That's why it's taken so long. We actually just spent about a year getting the album finished after we had it produced, mastered, mixed, everything like that. So it's a long process. So I understand when artists, release an album and then it takes them maybe a year or two before they release something else because there's a lot of work that needs to be involved with it. And part of that was us getting accustomed to each other's style and finding out how we're going to mix that and to come up with this new product that we have now.
What's it take to get something like this off the ground? I mean, obviously there's the artistic working together and everything, but I mean, there's obviously money involved, there's equipment.
Yes, there's money involved, of course, and before we talk about money, we need certain chemistry, right? That means in order to collaborate and come up with better inspiration. Okay, yes, we did produce the music with whatever we could. We did work very hard for that. We did work double shift, in order to get the money to produce it.
Right. Well, when you want to do something all your own, you don't feel prideful until you put all the hard work into it yourself. And we've really molded and shaped this thing from the ground up. So it took a lot of financial resources, but it was worth the vision. It was worth it because we knew where we were going to go, and now we have the result with an album released, a website up. So we've done everything from the bottom.
That website is INRGmusic.com, INRG Music.
Yep.
We're talking with Jordan Otley, our J-Ot, and Blaze Sitchett, Grand Sitch, as far as the music's concerned.
Right.
How many, is it the one CD right now?
Right.
You've got out?
That's the debut CD.
And I understand there's a tour planned as well.
Yes, it starts in December is when it's supposed to start, and we're actually in transit of getting ready to go Friday evening to Cameroon because that's where our promotional team is based. So we have a flight out of here to Cameroon because of the fact that we need to talk face-to-face with our promotion team and make sure that these upcoming tours are going to be on track.
I think it's very exciting that this is international music already.
I mean, it took off, and that's a good thing about digital era that we're in right now because everything is through the internet. And once we put the website up, once we were able to put the songs out on the internet, it was exposed immediately to everyone, not only here in the United States, but internationally to our promotion team. And then they took that exposure and promoted it everywhere. And so now it's really big.
And then through the email, we have feedbacks from all over, from Ukraine, from
Belgium,
Morocco,
right.
Belgium. People buy CD from everywhere. Canada. We are very surprised. They started buying CD from overseas before even in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, when you both walked in, I recognized you from the YouTube video.
Okay.
There was an article on you in the paper a while back, and I looked up the band, and there it was on YouTube, the helicopter, and that's where that song came from.
Right.
So it's neat in this world. I mean, even without a major label behind you doing some promotion stuff, we still not only hear your music,
Right.
but recognize your
Yeah,
face.
it's
I mean,
great.
it's an exciting
It's
age.
great for entrepreneurs. You know, being as digital as you can is just the key, because you can get the exposure that you need, because it's free. You know, there's different websites, there's different web forums that you can advertise through, like YouTube, and that's been one of our biggest successes. There's close to 10,000 views of the video, and we've only had it up probably 3-4 months.
And if you look at the map, if you go to YouTube, you look at the map, you're going to see almost all countries of the world, except China. I don't know how we can penetrate that market. We're trying to.
You figure that one out, call the government. I'm sure they'd love some tips. Why do you think your music has reached so many people? As you say, it's every country in the nation. It's starting to come in the United States. What is it about the music that INRG makes that you think appeals to people across cultural levels, across language barriers so well?
I think it's because I grew up most of my life in Africa. You know, I got used to African music, and I grew up in America, and then listening all to hip hop and everything, and then that's a merger, the mixture, and then we are very open, you know, to each other. So the mixture did bring something very original. We have been working together almost every day. It took a while for me to get used to his style. It's very good in classical, and all this is gifted for that.
Yeah,
you know.
it's those, because we have different exposures, because he has a lot of Caribbean exposure and a lot of African exposure, and my forte was in jazz music. I have a lot of jazz legends that I love to listen to. You know, we're talking Miles Davis, Al Jarreau. These are all people that I love growing up, that I learned from my father's repertoire of music that he had. You know, I just listened to whatever he listened to in the car. And so these are people that I've molded my style of music around as a piano player. And so when we bring all those, you know, intangibles together, and other styles, hip-hop, you know, of course, R&B music, because we've known so many different types of music, these are the types of music that people relate themselves to already. So they can hear a familiarity in the sound that we bring together, but it's different still because it's got the collaboration of everything in there.
It's funny when you look back, you know, there's been music museums, Hall of Fame and all that, talking about where rock and roll music came from, has its origins in the blues and goes all the way back. Yeah. We're seeing the same sort of evolution happening today when people of two different musical backgrounds come together and combine it to create a whole new sound. And that's, it's exciting to me that that's starting right here and that you're doing it yourselves, because I mean, I don't know. I would assume that you have some more flexibility in your creativity without someone looking over your shoulder.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's funny that